Video's recording. Olivia's in the room with me. Hello. You're cute. Hello everybody. Oh, I gotta sync. Hello everybody, this is TroyBoy17 coming to you live, and I am about to see Shang-Chi, the Legend of the Ten Rings. That's the subtitle. We have to go in a few minutes. Olivia is right across from me. I still am trying to figure out a setup. I'm using the handheld mic. Hopefully it sounds okay. But yeah, I'm actually very excited for this movie. This is a movie that I've been hyped for since they announced it. It's always kind of stood out to me as like one that could be the most interesting. As a lot of you may know, I'm not a Marvel stan. I will enjoy the Marvel movies when I enjoy them, but I don't automatically love everything they do. Sometimes a lot of the movies tend to be very similar and very kind of bland. And not a ton interesting going on. There are exceptions, of course, and I love those exceptions. But and this movie definitely feels like it could be an exception. We have not seen it yet. Reviews are very good. We're a little late, but because the movie starts at 7:10 and it's 6:45 right now. I really like the cast. I really like Simu. I've always liked Simu. I like him in Kim's Convenience. It's a very fun show. If you haven't seen it, I don't think there's anything problematic about it. I hope not. But yeah, I really like him. He is looking to be like one of the most likable MCU characters in a long time, since like skinny Steve Rogers, and I'm really excited for that. And really, that's the only thing I'm looking for. Plot-wise, it could be fucking whatever it wants to be. It could be the most standard MCU thing in the world, as long as, and I could still enjoy it as long as A, Simu and Shang-Chi is a likable character, which I think he will be from the little bit that we've seen, and B, if the action is fun, which I think the action will be fun. If the action is well choreographed, well directed, everything. And from the little bit that we've seen, I think that is going to be the case, because it looks pretty cool. It looks really fun. The colors look... Some shots of the trailers, the colors look really good, but then some of the clips they've released, the colors look a little bit gray, so we'll see about that. Hopefully the humor's not, like, overly forced Marvel humor, but it could still be fun regardless. And yeah, I'm not hyped that it's a theatrical release only in the middle of a global pandemic. It's pretty frustrating. But we got some fancy little masks now, and I made sure to book a theater that's like at least smaller, because it is kind of frustrating that they didn't do it for Black Widow, which was still a relatively recent release. The pandemic's kind of getting worse right now. It's not the best decision, I think, and so I think it's a little irresponsible. So I don't want to we'll see how I feel about the movie, and I don't want to go out and tell people to go see it in the middle of a global pandemic. But I am hoping I like this, and I think I will like this. I think it'll be fun. My girlfriend is very pretty. I'm looking at her right now. She's very pretty. Everybody, she's so pretty. You're not allowed to look at her. You're here for me, motherfuckers. Yeah, I think the movie could be fun, and I'm excited for it. I've had high hopes for this for a while. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I've been constantly saying that this could be the best Marvel movie, sheerly based on the likability of Shang-Chi and of Simu and of the differentness of it. And I hope there are more movies that are different from like the standard plot line. Marketing hasn't been great. It feels like not many people are hyped for this movie as much as they probably should be, which is kind of upsetting. It feels like Simu is kind of the only one doing the marketing. He's hyping it up a lot though, and it's really cool to see that. I think that's all. Do you have anything to say? Do you want to come in on camera and say anything? No? I can cut it out if you want me to.
I'm excited.
I'm also excited. All right, goodbye. But yeah, I think that's kind of all I have to say as well. This is the middle of desk setup right now. I don't hate this look, actually. Let me know in the comments if you think I'll put some little things back here. Maybe get a little cool lighting. I think this could be fun, actually. But yeah, okay. It is 6:48. We should probably get going. I will get back with you on what I think of the movie. Goodbye. So I fucking loved this movie. This movie was great. This movie was really good. We just got back. Olivia's in the other room eating some dinner because we got very hungry because we didn't get any food at the theater. This movie was fantastic. This movie might, in fact, be like one of my favorite MCU things since... I think it's on par with like Captain America: The First Avenger, which I love that movie. It has a lot of things very similar to that movie in terms of like where its priorities lay and where its characters are and stuff like that. And I really like that. Yeah, I don't even know where... I'm trying to do spoiler-free stuff for this video. But yeah, I adored this film. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the action is super well choreographed. Super well choreographed. I was like, I'm really into martial arts films. I'm really into action movies in general. And this movie delivered on a lot of the fronts that I was really expecting it to and really hoping it would. Very well edited fights. The choreography gets its moment to breathe and stuff, and it feels nice. It's not a Jackie Chan movie, you know? It doesn't like really hold on the fights, but it is as much of a martial arts film as I think we can probably get from Marvel with this, like, with the way that they produce films like quickly and in their timeline that they do. I very much like that it wasn't really connected to the bigger Marvel universe. I think that's the direction that Marvel should be going from now on. I think that while the consistent timeline of the Infinity Saga was really interesting and it worked really well, in a post-Endgame world, we need more movies like this and like Black Panther, where it's not an A to B plotline, but things kind of branching out and doing their own thing and in their own bubbles. And that's why I love this movie. I thought it was great. Colors in this movie were super nice. This movie's gorgeous. This movie's super well shot, super well, great cinematography. Really well color graded. It really was just my concerns with the color grading really just came from the scene on the bus that was released. Oh my god, what's going on with my hair? The scene on the bus is a little bit more like of the gray Marvel color palette, but it's really just that scene. Everything else is super vibrant, super colorful, super pretty, very well shot, very well choreographed, very well directed. I really loved it. All the characters were super likable. Simu killed it, obviously, as I expected. Awkwafina, like, surprised me, because I haven't seen anything she's been in, like, recently. What was the last thing I saw her in? I can't even I think maybe Crazy Rich Asians, I think, was the last thing I saw her in. And in my experience of what I've seen her in, she tends to be like my least favorite part of the movies that she's been in, just because like they write her as very annoying and she's like that kind of character. But in this, she was great. She was super entertaining. She like had the perfect amount of like comedy without like being really in your face about it. Like the character was very relatable and very like, because she has like an arc about like her progression as an adult and stuff, and I really liked that. It was like that kind of hit home with me in terms of like what I'm currently going through as I moved to a completely new city, and it's very stressful. I really loved the character. I loved all the characters. They all had like something to do. Nobody felt one character, which I'll talk about in a bit. I won't spoil, but pretty much every character like had something, and they did something. They had like an arc. They had their own motivations. The motivations were very clear. Even the villain, Shang-Chi's father, whose name I cannot remember because I suck. I know how to spell a lot of the names because there were subtitles. This movie had a lot of subtitles, and I really liked that. There is a critique of a lot of like Western Hollywood films where like characters that speak another language will just talk in English in an accent, and that wasn't a thing in this movie. A couple of lines were like in English for like no reason, but most of the time, if people that spoke Chinese were talking to each other privately, they were speaking Chinese, and it was subtitled. And I would say like more of the film that I was expecting to be was subtitled. Like the first like 5 minutes are fully subtitled, and it's cool as hell. That's awesome, and I think that's a nice way to bridge like, I don't want to say casual audiences, but more casual Western audiences who are like so afraid of subtitles, who are afraid of watching Parasite because of the subtitles, and kind of bridging them more into being acceptable of that, you know? And I really liked that. I thought it was really cool, and I really enjoyed that. Again, the fight choreography was killer. Oh my god, it was so much fun. So much fun. The pacing was really good. They do a good job with flashbacks. The villain. I was talking about the villain. The Mandarin, which like there's a whole thing in the movie about that, which they do a really good job of that. I really like that. But Shang-Chi's father was a really relatable villain, and I really enjoyed that. I wasn't expecting that. I kind of expected them to go like a Thanos route, where it's like, oh, he's just the abusive dad, and the main characters have to like just overcome their trauma with him and stuff. And like they could have very easily done that and would have worked, but they went something different. They went a different direction with that, and I really like that. I thought that was really cool. There's a dog barking. Don't know if you can hear that, but no, the villain like was very relatable, and he wasn't just this like one-note evil dad. I really liked the motivations. I really liked the history, and they did a really interesting thing with the character that I didn't expect them to do, and I really enjoyed that. I will say there's a character that they introduced from a previous Marvel movie that I think is probably the weakest part of the movie. He's very funny, and they do a good job with him, and it's cool that he's in the movie and it's fun. But I think he's in the movie just a little too much, and it does kind of step a little bit into like the Marvel humor side of it. But it doesn't ruin the movie. It doesn't really ruin any scene he's in. I was just like, why is this character here for so long? Aside from that, yeah, really loved the movie. Adored it. Fucking incredible. Great work. I think the director needs to come back. I think Shang-Chi needs to come back. I don't want him to be an Avenger. I like him kind of being in his own, like, sort of like the Doctor Strange realm, where like it's not like an Avenger, doesn't work for S.H.I.E.L.D. or doesn't work with them or anything, but like occasionally will interact with characters, because he's a really likable character. He's a really likable dude, and I really enjoyed it. And Olivia would like to come in to talk about what she thought of the movie. So Take it away, girl.
I really liked the movie. And one thing also, because I heard you talking about it, one thing you didn't talk about was it was really funny.
It was very funny.
Really funny.
In good humor, not like Marvel humor, but like very, very well done humor. Yeah.
Exactly, because I was like, Awkwafina's in it, it's like gonna be funny, right? But it was like good funny. I was literally laughing in the theater, and I don't do that much.
She's never laughed at any of my jokes ever. Name one time you've laughed. She can't.
I liked it a lot. I thought all the scenery was super cool. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
Give it up, everybody, for my girlfriend. Yay! Round of applause. This movie really delivered on everything that I was like wanting it to, and then it exceeded my expectations with the personal story and with the heart and the motivations and the characters. I'm pleasantly surprised. It wasn't on my checklist of things I needed and shit. But I love the movie. I thought it was great. But, and I hate to fucking be this guy, but this movie should have come out on Disney Plus. You know, we are in the middle of a global pandemic still. Numbers got better for a little bit, but then they're starting to go up again. The vaccine is out and people are getting vaccinated, and especially in my city, like the vaccination numbers are really high. But even then, still, like, it is a consistent fear. So as much as I want the movie to do well, I want this movie to succeed. Of course I fucking do. I thought it was great. I loved the characters. I want more. I don't think you should go see it. I think the fact that it's a theatrical only release is very frustrating. If I want to be like very bad faith interpretation of the company's policies, it almost feels like they're trying to handicap the movie's success, which is very frustrating, especially with like, it feels like the marketing has kind of been nowhere with the movie. It's kind of messed up, and it's really not okay at this point where the pandemic is not handled. Numbers are rising in a lot of states, like Australia. Theaters aren't even open in a lot of places. I have a ton of friends who live in Australia that just can't see the movie. And I have even more friends that live in other states, in other cities that aren't as whose numbers aren't as good as mine. And they are scared for their health to go see this movie. And that's like unacceptable. That's really not okay. Disney needs to be, they have the capability clearly with Black Widow and with Cruella, and with like all their other movies that they've put onto Premier Access. And the fact that it's theatrical only, I think, is ridiculous. I think that's not okay. And I'm so conflicted because I loved the movie, and I want to talk about how much I loved the movie, because I did. I really loved it. I thought it was fucking cool as hell. It was great. It was so good. But like, as a person with a modicum of a platform, I have a relatively small platform. I'm very thankful for the platform that I have. I love all of you guys. You know I fucking do. Of course I do. The responsible thing to do would be to tell you guys to not see it, you know? And the fact that it's a theatrical only movie at this point is it's 100% on the company, and it shouldn't be on you as a consumer to determine if consuming this content is worth risking your health. I understand that the company needs to make money. I understand that they need to make back their bank on their investment and stuff. But Black Widow made a lot of money. They made money with Premier Access, and especially with good reviews on this movie. People love this movie. It's really good. People claim I'm a MCU hater, but here we go. I love this movie. So I guess there you go. There's my bias showing, and why bias is a good thing in reviews, because now you know how much I like this movie and how good this movie is. It's incredibly frustrating that I have to, and other reviewers and other people have to like make this like choice of like, do I go see this movie and risk myself, or do I wait it out and wait till it's on Disney Plus in whoever knows how long? And I think like Black Widow made money, Cruella made money. Like Cruella's actually really good, but on the topic of Cruella, it's really good. Cruella's like way better than it has any right to be. Like, especially our theater experience, like, again, our numbers are very low. We have pretty good numbers in the city I live in, but even then the theater was pretty much packed except for the first 2 rows, and the predetermined seating that Olivia and I picked, we expected to be further, like, people not to sit next to us, and guess what? People sat next to us, and it made us really uncomfortable. We're fully vaccinated. We wore our masks. Like, technically, we're, like, safe. For context, Olivia has asthma. Olivia has a heart condition, so, like, COVID is, like, legitimately scary for us. We were kind of scared, and we got very lucky that the first 2 rows were practically empty, and so we could sit away from people. We were concerned. It was a scary thing. We had to risk, essentially, going to the theater. We had to risk our safety. We had to risk our health to see a Marvel movie, of a big corporation that we loved. Olivia loved it too. And again, we're vaccinated, but still there's a fear and there's a concern. And I don't think that it's like okay for a company to force people to make that decision for their health. And I don't think it's fair for me. I don't think it's responsible of me as a reviewer, as a person with a platform, to say, hey, go to the theater and risk yourself because this movie's good, just to enjoy a good movie. And it's unfair for the company and for Marvel to put that pressure onto reviewers and to put that pressure onto the consumer. It would have all been avoided basically if they just did the same thing with Premier Access. I get Premier Access is expensive. $30 is a lot, but we paid $30 to see this movie. It was $15 ticket for each of us. $30, same price. We paid the same price. And granted, I didn't need to see the movie. Nobody needs to consume content. Nobody needs to consume entertainment. But this is my job, and so I kind of did have to consume this. You know, to make this video, to talk about it on podcasts and whatnot. So like, I could have chosen to not see the movie, but then it would have been not working, and that's not fair to me. It's not fair to you guys. It's not fair to people that want to consume and be part of this discourse, that you have to risk your health. And I'm telling you, as somebody, I'm not saying this because again, I want the movie to succeed. Of course I want the movie to succeed. The movie's great. The movie's awesome. I want a sequel. I want Shang-Chi to be in future movies because he's cool as hell. But I cannot ethically and responsibly say, yeah, go out and see the movie, because granted, I don't know your situation. If your situation is good, if your numbers are down in your city, if you're able to find a theater that's practically empty on opening weekend of a Marvel movie, firstly, I want to know where you live, because hell yeah. Like, what the fuck? That's cool. And if you're able to and you feel safe doing it, and you're not at risk for other health issues, and COVID is not a super strong fear for you, again, be careful with COVID, everybody. Get vaccinated, wear masks. But if you feel like you will be okay, then I trust your judgment. Of course I trust your judgment. But as me, I cannot ethically say to a group of people, yes, go see the movie. And that's effectively what reviews are. Reviews are saying, hey, go see the movie because I liked it, so you should see it too. And I feel fucked up with that. I feel like very conflicted, because I want to support this movie for so many reasons. Not only just because it's good, but because there's an Asian lead. Because fucking Simu's killer, and I want him to be like the biggest. I want him to be the biggest star on the planet. I want him to overtake Chris Pratt, is what I'm saying. And I really want this to succeed because it's great, full Asian cast, really well-made movie, crazy sound, killer soundtrack, by the way, really great. Like, it has in representation. I love representation. It's really important to me. So yeah, I want the movie to succeed, but I just cannot ethically tell you to go out there and see it. And I think that's fucked up of the company to force people to do that. Even while watching the movie, wearing my fucking even my nice crazy mask, I was scared. And that's not okay. You know? And so I think either Disney needs to put this on Disney Plus. The fact that it's not is ridiculous, I think. They're not gonna lose that much money to begin with. If they do, then fuck, God forbid you lose a little bit of money to keep people safe. Oh no, what a nightmare. Or the theaters need to start restricting seats for a little bit. Space people out, charge some more for the tickets. Who fucking cares? I would gladly have paid $20 per ticket. Paid $40 for this movie to keep myself safe and keep Olivia safe and feel safe. It's a crazy thing that I have to do that. And this is such a downer video, because it should be this. I should be excited. I should be ecstatic that I'm like, yeah, I love the Marvel movie. Oh, take that, MCU stans. I'm one of you guys now. I wanna post some fan cams of all the characters and shit like that. But like, I can't, because I cannot tell my friends and my people and my subscribers and the people watching this video, I cannot tell you to go risk that, because that's just fucking great power, great responsibility, fucking Spider-Man shit, That's my review of Shang-Chi. Because it's, again, as a film, fantastic movie. I adored it. Some things I'm not huge on, but I loved it either way. Nothing killed the movie for me. Characters are great, action's great, cinematography's great, soundtrack's great, acting is great performances, really great direction, really great directing decisions. It really is just a circumstance that makes me frustrated about the movie. And I feel like I've spent 15 of these minutes talking about the COVID situation. But it is a situation. It's a global pandemic, and we can't stop talking about it. We can't stop being concerned about it. We can go back to our normal lives, but the companies that have all this money need to make it so we can go back to our normal lives safely, in a reasonable way. I can't go to the movie theater in a hazmat suit, even though that'd be cool as hell. And I shouldn't have to, because AMC and Regal and all the other companies, they should be making it so I don't have to be concerned about that. And then Disney should be making sure I don't have to be concerned about that. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say about the movie. Again, this is a really downer video and I feel like shit, because again, I love the movie. I thought it was great. But if you've seen Shang-Chi, let me know in the comments what you think about it. Feel free to call me Soy Boyo for being concerned about COVID, yada, 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 whatever. It is a concern for us, and it should be a concern for you. But with that said, thank you everybody for watching this video. Again, I feel like a piece of shit for being such a downer, but I feel like it has to be a real talk, because it's not a good thing, and we have to talk about it. We have to challenge these companies when they do things like this. And you know me, Mr. Socialist Billionaire Guy. That's what I'm here for. Anyway, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you are new here for whatever reason. It does help the channel out. It does help the algorithm out. I would like to get to 50,000 by the end of the year. I think I can. We can maybe do it. Special thanks to Cassidy Bond, Iron Ninja, Jonah, Logan Triplet Films, Lord Corb, Sam Wright, and Tyler Goodrich for being spectacular fanboys on my Patreon. This has been TroyBoy17 coming to you live. Remember to wear a mask and get vaccinated if you're able to. Be responsible, everybody, and I'll see you around.